Hey everyone, welcome to Messy Mondays with your host, Avalaura. Woo, y'all, we gonna get into it today. Real Housewives of Potomac episode 15,
Girl,
16,
where are I
15,
think this is
something.
15 because last week was 14.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, we got a lot to talk about in the show and off the show, but we're gonna get into it. Go ahead on, share this out, subscribe, like all the things, comment, all of that. And we just gonna get right in and talk about it. But first, I'm gonna introduce you to my co-host today, Miss
It is.
Amina.
Hello, I'm Amina Carter. Always excited to be here with the Ava Laura. So y'all. Oh, I ain't saying nothing about
Man.
it. We good.
So let me say something. First of all, I'm like, look, how many episodes are left? Because they ain't showed me yet. I was like, are
think
they
it's
gonna show me this
18.
season? Because what's going on?
I think it's 18. I looked up last week how many um episodes there are, and I saw 18.
So are they like showing that they saving the best for last? Because I was like, dang, I still ain't appeared yet. I've seen a couple instances where I could have appeared.
Oh,
So
and you don't know what goes and what stays.
no.
Oh, wow.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Mm.
So I'm still waiting to see me.
We waiting too, girl. We are waiting too. Lord of
I'm
mercy.
still waiting to see me. Last time when it happened, because I don't watch the show. I'm actually watching this season, but I
Yeah.
don't watch it. So last time I knew because that Sunday, my phone, my DMs, my everything just blew up. Like it was like my whole life exploded.
Uh,
I was getting text messages, emails, DMs, tagged on Facebook, tagged on like every social media. It was crazy.
wow.
So I knew I was like, oh, I guess my episode aired.
Right. Right.
This time I'm like, yo, what's up? What's going on?
Where
So
am I at?
we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm being patient, but I don't know because I think we're down to the wire. But this episode proved what we have been talking about since the beginning. And I really wanted Ronnie to come on here. I hope she's still gonna make an appearance because she's been saying it. Hashtag Mia be lying.
Now.
We have seen it officially.
Oh,
So if y'all didn't see or if you saw, you know what I'm talking about. Let me say it was great to see the men get together and
it
talk.
was. It was.
I love seeing Ray and Gordon, or G as they call him.
Yes.
I love seeing them get together and chatting it up. I thought that I just love seeing men get together and chat it up anyway. Because like I'm a firm believer in sisterhood. I think women have a lot more touch points. We get together a lot more.
Yeah.
We'll go hang out, we'll go to brunch, we'll talk on the phone for hours. Men don't typically do that.
Yeah.
So I love seeing, them in the media or whatever, just kind of talking and vibing with each other. Cause I think we need more of that too.
Absolutely.
So that was cool. Now, I didn't think Gordon looked too good. I was like, what's going on with his eyes? Did you notice that?
You know, I did not pay full attention to that. What was I actually no, short answer. I didn't notice his eyes. I saw them, but I didn't notice. What were they? Jaundice?
It
Red?
was like kind of red or something.
Yeah,
I was
they
just
were
like,
a
what
little
is
red. I was
he?
like,
You
red?
know,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, and then, when they were showing him in like other scenes from the past, I was like, okay, so his eyes didn't look like that. I was like, so what's going on right now?
Mhm.
But that's neither here nor there. The big
Right.
thing is he contradicted a lot of stuff that Mia said. What did you think about that, Amina? Girl,
So here's the thing. So when and he was so calm about it.
he was very calm.
He was so even. He was not moved, no breath change, no extra charge. He was really, and what's interesting, and I think what's interesting about his demeanor, And I can't discount what Mia's saying because we're not there in the private moments to see the
Right.
mania and the, the ups and the downs of how his
Mm-hmm.
bipolar presents. But the song "Why You Always Lying" always pop up in my head because he basically told the story a bit differently, of course, than how Mia told it,
Yeah.
right? And so, even with the taking the children and how that
Mm-hmm.
transpired, and I was like, well, okay, this sounds like it makes
It
sense.
makes sense. Right.
Now, what you talking about, Mia girl?
Yeah.
Mia is definitely solidifying her space in the Liars Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I
And
hate
like you said, we don't know. Like, and I never claim to know.
right,
You know, these are our opinions. We really
right,
don't know what's going on. It says
right.
it in the disclaimer. These are opinions, right?
Fact.
But the reality is, it didn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
And so when he was talking, I said, wait a minute, hold on. She said she had full custody. That didn't make sense to me because I'm like, if she has full custody, why is there this whole going back and forth with him about custody if she already has full custody? How
Okay.
did he take the kids if she has full custody?
And then I was like, when was there ever even a custody conversation?
Right. Because if
What
y'all are not divorced,
what is we even
how?
thank you? What is we even talking about?
Right. Right. So I understood you don't want some dude hanging with your kids when she's not there. You probably don't want him there anyway. You came and got the kids.
Right.
Now, this whole thing that he has the kids more than her, I was like, ooh.
Hey, that man said 25 days. Did he say 25? I was like,
25 days out of 30. That's what he said.
which also rewind, scratch the record and bring it back to when she was asked on the bus, if you were really worried about these kids, why are you going to Atlanta? Or is Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
As
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
opposed to going home to these
Going
children.
home to your kids. Yep. Yep.
Them 25 days make more sense now.
Listen, if that is the way that you've been moving, then that makes sense. It makes sense. Maybe it'll come out at the reunion, the truth.
Baby, I feel like if they ask Gordon on this show, he
He gonna tell us.
is gonna drop the tea is gonna be very hot, and ma'am is probably gonna melt in her seat because none of the things are gonna make any of the sense.
And you know, and the whole thing about getting the paternity test, and did we not think that he was really his child? I mean, I never thought it was Ink's child anyway. I was like, why would she even let that go to be like it could be as a possibility? Who says that? It's a possibility.
A person that loved to throw salt in the game, though. She
A
like it
possibility.
raggedy, just raggedy. It's just
That is
raggedy.
salt in the wound for real. Like really salt in the wound.
She just like sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle,
Yeah,
sprinkle.
I think Ink was like, you know what? This is a lot. I don't need all of this. Let's
Mm-mm.
just slow this down. You know,
Mm-mm.
let's just slow this down. Let me just ease my way on out.
Because
Meanwhile, did you hear Gordon still trying to make it work though?
when he said I feel like we need to go to post something counseling, I was like,
And
sir,
we don't really even need a divorce.
that man really, you can very much tell he don't want to let that old thing go. He want that old thing back. He want that old thing
I
back.
don't know that she went anywhere.
Ooh, wee. Oh,
So we can say he wants to keep it because I don't think she went nowhere.
and you know what? And you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense as to why. I mean, I think he has his anger has some justification on either side of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that it does exacerbate things if she is still in fact. Because here's the thing, she kept saying, this whole thing, I got to take care of him. I got to make sure this and this
Mm-hmm.
and that. I'm trying to figure out that ain't going to fly if you in another relationship. It just not going to fly.
Doesn't. It
Not
really doesn't. And again, now her and Ink are no longer together and she's focusing on co-parenting.
child by. They back in that marital bed. You know,
Like what?
y'all are
So
cohabitating, co-sharing.
you done already met the kids, you spent time with the kids, everybody knows you, and now we need to separate so I can focus on co-parenting.
Because what exactly, child?
So yeah, I don't think she ever went anywhere. I think it's the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and he won this round.
And she always, she paints this picture of Gordon as very fragile.
Yes.
And like, I definitely can see where this would be hurtful. And with bipolar as a diagnosis, how this can be triggering
Yes.
and
Yeah.
send you into a number of different behaviors and episodes.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I feel like he puts up with a lot from her because of his
absolutely.
bipolar, and he's trying to make up for that. So he puts up with things that he should not be putting up with.
They
She
are
guilts him into it.
they're codependent.
Very much so. Very much so. So he ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. And that's that hashtag Mia be lying. Next couple.
Next
Well, if we
couple.
could call them a couple. All right. Help me understand this. A few episodes back at was it the party? It was something they had where the couples were there.
Okay.
They asked TJ and Stacy a question,
Oh Lord.
and they said they were friends.
It,
Friends.
and now they have changed the dynamic of the relationship.
Now they're in love.
And that
Now
man's
he
crying.
wants girl. What?
That man is.
The whole scene, I was like, why is Stacy putting up with this?
My question is that they do to do.
No, I hope not. Because I don't think it's gonna be. I have two questions. What is wrong with his hair, and why was he crying?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Did he know his hair looked like that when he went on TV?
First, it's the shade for me. The hair was terrible. Um, it was given bowl cut. Just said it right
What's
on.
that chain barbershop, or is it? It's not a sheer. Was it sheer or something?
Oh, yes. Yes.
They're like located all around the country.
Yes.
Like literally looked like he just went to like one of
What
these
was the
little
name of that
chain
place?
barbershops and
Oh
got
my
his hair cut.
God.
He don't know
Yes.
how to do black hair.
No, they did not. They did not. Oh my God. I remember that place and I cannot remember the name, but yes, that is so
Mm-mm,
hilarious. The
mm-mm.
tears definitely threw me. I was like, is his voice cracking?
I was
And then he went
confused.
into full
I said, "Is this the acting?"
baby, those was real tears.
Mm. Hey, girl. Hey, Girl, we already we talked about your girl Mia. We can circle back, but right now we talking about TJ. Why the hair and why the tears?
Girl, that tickled me so bad when I said, "Why are you crying? This she just telling you you can't come to her house right now. You over here crying and stuff." I think he's scared. I think she be taking care of him.
Do you?
I feel like she's the type that'll like, oh, don't worry
Mm,
about it. Like he's in need and he's hanging on to her too. I do feel like he uses her. I mean, I feel
Mm,
like he's one using her to be on TV, but I do
yes.
feel like he also uses her for other stuff too. Because I'm just thinking, why? Not just because he was crying, but it just gave me this cringy feeling
mm.
of
Yes.
like, why are you crying? Are you afraid you're going to lose her and lose the benefits that you're getting? So that's why I feel like he might be
Yeah,
using
because
her
it
for
was
some
just
stuff.
so inauthentic. It didn't even, and it was just like out of nowhere.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then it's like again, talked about guilt. It felt very manipulative. Like, I feel like I'm hidden. Bruh, she got you on TV in front of the world.
That's
And
How
fact.
are
going through
you
a
hidden?
divorce. And going through a divorce at the same time.
We don't even see the husband.
Right.
He
We
ain't
ain't never seen the husband.
Never.
he ain't
Never.
agreed to this. He was like, no, sir.
Mhm. All
Um,
we know is the husband is rich. That's it. We don't know nothing else about him.
she
And
is.
he's
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm
no,
sorry.
no, 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 no. You can go because I was going to just go on my little tangent.
No, I'm just wondering the whole dynamic. So, when she went into the lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, how do you get alimony and not advocate for child support?
House support.
Yeah.
And I know him. Let me tell you. I guess one thing that she has a level of naivete that
Mhm.
and it's also a little airy
Mhm.
Yes.
in terms
Not
of how
grounded.
this works. And I think you don't know until you know.
Mhm.
When you get a divorce, all the things you thought you do not know anymore.
Yeah.
The gloves come off.
They come
Yeah.
off. The
The-
truth comes out. Stuff you thought was done is not done. Stuff that you thought was resolved, it comes right back out.
Yeah.
Everything comes up.
Seriously.
Everything.
And you
You
meet
would have
some of us meet an entirely different person than we were married to.
exactly. And you would
Yes.
think that just based off remember when in another episode when she met up with the ladies and she was sharing
Mm-hmm.
her experience and how she didn't know he had this stuff in her name
Yep.
and
That's what the
that's
lady
already a sign that
might
this is
be.
not the same person that you
Exactly.
thought he was. So what would make you think that he's going to be the same person in this situation?
Because I have
Exactly.
confidence that this ain't no,
Hmm.
especially when these men get into another relationship.
And she tried to
Exactly.
tell her, like, this is my problem. And I go through the same thing too, especially working with couples, not so much individuals, but especially working with couples. If you're going to hire an expert,
Yeah,
you're hiring us for our expertise
yeah,
because
Hmm.
we know what we're talking about.
yeah.
Hmm.
Why don't you listen to us?
Right. And that lady
Why
told
are
her
you
she
gonna
had
hire
five
me and not
dollars.
take my advice just so I can be right?
Right. That lady said she had $5 for every woman.
He said I
She would
wouldn't
be
even
sitting
be
on the
sitting
beach.
here.
Yeah, she'd be sitting on the beach. That's what she said. And you would think at that she would be like, okay, well, let me try to push for this. You might as well do it now and not so you don't have to do it later.
Thank you.
And the psychology also is all wrong because I think the framing, having been divorced and understand, I didn't have no children at the time, so there were no
Hmm.
children involved in it. Praise the Lord. Um,
Right.
uh, but one of the things that you don't realize is that whole dynamic. I forgot. I lost my train of thought, but it really does shift what you think in that moment.
Hmm.
Really, oh, I know what I was going to say. she's associating what can't happen because of his love for his daughter.
Yeah.
But everyone, that don't even be a consideration in their mind. It
Right.
is, you're not going to get any of this money. You're doing such and such. Your framework is not even focused. It's not even about that. It's
Mm-hmm.
establishing consistency. You don't get out of this no matter what circumstance comes up in your life
Mm-hmm.
after this. And we
Exactly.
need the security of knowing that this is going to stay the way it is no matter who come up in here,
Right.
Right.
which is
Exactly.
what Gizelle said about Jamal. Like,
Yep.
I had to make sure no matter what goes on over
Yep.
there, these
Yep.
kids got what they need.
Yep.
Right.
I
That's, I
Right.
ain't
mean,
mad
that's
at
that's
it.
real. Cause he looked like he young enough. He could get a young, especially he got money. He could have some more kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. When the
So
next
she
kid comes
becomes out of
along,
sight, out of mind.
and if you don't
Exactly.
file first, baby,
Right.
you get the shorter end of the
You
stick.
get the short end of
Well,
the stick. You sure
it didn't
do.
make any sense to me. And the woman literally kept asking her, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why I could see you asking for child support and not alimony, but alimony and
But
no
not
And
child
not
child
support.
child
support,
support,
baby. Thank you very much. And that's why she was like, so you're gonna ask for yourself and not for
but
your
not your
child?
child. Yeah. Yep. You want to take care of you, but not her.
Cause
Take
and
care of her. I'll figure myself out.
I get what she's
Mm-hmm.
saying because she's like, well, I know that he will take care of
Right,
her because he loves her.
right.
But what is the message that you're sending to him?
Mm,
Right.
You like you're saying that you don't think she's important because I'm gonna make sure I get mine. I already know you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
take care of her over here.
Mm-hmm.
So out of spite, if I gotta pay you for your alimony, well, I'm just not gonna pay you child support.
that part.
Exactly. And that's exactly what might end up happening. And then she
Just
gonna
out
be
of
on
spite.
next season crying all the time, her and TJ crying together.
Crying
You know,
together. Give me a
I'm
punching bag,
thinking
baby.
I'm thinking about what you said. I'm like, is she taking care of him?
Mm-hmm. Cause I mean, think about it. TJ ain't got that much work. He's an actor. He
He
don't have
clearly
that
don't
much
have that much
work.
work.
And he in California. California is expensive. He probably be calling her time. Can he borrow $20 to put some gas in his car? He just
Baby,
give me that type of vibe.
don't not that Stacy's the meal ticket. Hold on.
I'm pondering this in my head
That's why he's crying. And that man said, I will
because
wait for you. I don't.
because
Exactly.
she was like, so what is it that I can do? And I was like, why is she being so, I don't know, like understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Because me over here would be like, dude, you're on TV. Get over it.
Yes.
Yep. You on
You're
TV?
here. If you can't tell. But she was, well, why are you so? And I was just like, what is this?
She love TJ
Like
dirty
over
draws.
understanding.
She love his dirty draws. Like it's so obvious this man don't like you like that. And you continue to put up with him. I wonder, you know what I would love to ask her? Going back and watching this season, do you see what everybody has been saying?
Facts.
But she
Facts. If you
probably don't,
can't
because
see
she a
it
little
now.
airheady, so she may not see it,
No,
but
see, this
I'm
is the
wondering
problem.
like,
She's airhead with a bit of intelligence, with a bit, right?
mm-hmm, a
So this
bit,
is what
yeah.
happens. You think you're smarter than you are.
Ooh.
So she
Read, that's
will
a
stand
read.
10 toes down and say, I know what I know. I know him. And y'all don't know him. And we
This
all looking like, bruh, we
baby,
can
it,
see.
it is the pride before the fall for me.
Mm,
Because it is almost ringing how Snoop's soundbite about then and where he is now. Because it did
mm,
not age well at all.
at all. At all.
And for people who don't know what you're talking about,
Oh,
because yeah.
basically just comparing it to putting your foot in your mouth the way Snoop said he would clown anybody who would
Yep.
perform shuck and jive for the orange one being
Mm-hmm.
inaugurated last time.
When was that? 2000, was it
16
16?
16. Mm-hmm.
to only be on the stage using the N-word in front of all of
The people on the opposite side of our
the
hand,
white
Mhm.
tees,
The clear people.
the
Yeah.
clear
the
folk.
alabasters.
Hmm.
I like that, the
Yeah.
alabasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the pride, do you come back and say, I messed up? Do you come back and say, I was wrong?
You should.
Or do you
You
just keep
should.
trucking along like, well, making excuses like Miss Mia?
Girl.
She gon- the thing about her is that she is going to ride it till the wheels fall off. She gonna
All off. Okay. I'm going to find a way to be right. Listen, let me tell you something. If you want to study ego, that's how ego operates. Ego is going to make anything make sense.
child.
Miss
Anything.
Mia. Hashtag Mia be lying.
Me, I'll be lying.
Make sure y'all drop that in the chat if you're watching.
If you agree, hashtag Mia be
Mia
lying
be
in the
lying.
chat,
But
okay?
baby, that lady been lying since
Woo.
she first came on the show. And it's just getting worse as a kid, the worse
Worser
and
and
worse.
worser.
That thing, honey, Karen got her,
It
you
really
know,
is.
And then they
you
had to
know,
do a be continue on us. Like, come on.
right.
They
And
had to do
she
a
mad cause she got caught in her lie. Like, you supposed to believe me and not Gordon. Well, it's two sides to a story. And it kind of makes sense for them to kind of believe him too, because you in Panama talking with this man doing this stuff with your kid. Why would you not go leave? Well, now
Child.
it makes
That's
sense.
literally what we just said. Like, what he was saying made sense.
Yeah. You trying to make this man look like because he has bipolar disorder that he is
This is what I said.
incompetent and not smart. That's not a dumb man. And just because somebody has a mental illness, it doesn't make them any less of a person than someone who does not. And that's another thing that I don't like is because she's downplaying mental illness. Somebody with a mental illness. I don't like that.
And unique to this one is not it is not necessarily identified by a cognitive decline.
It's
It is
not.
hormonal.
It's
It's
not.
not
Yes.
that his faculties are not compromised. He
Correct.
understands fine.
Correct.
Right. But in
You
her
know,
mind, she's looking at it like
Yeah.
he's incompetent, he's slow,
right?
unintelligent. That man ain't unintelligent. That man was ran a whole company for how many years?
In full command
Facts.
of all of his faculties.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be dealing with her, he can't be girl. Let me be quiet because Mia, I don't like you. I'm just if you watching this, I
She
have grown
came,
a
but she came
dislike.
in lying. Her
She did.
came in on it.
I mean, she
She
came in
did.
with a narrative that she wanted us to believe
Yeah, yeah.
and
And
didn't
then
realize that we're smart enough not to buy into it.
right. Like, girl, we can read between, we know you been lying. We been calling you, you be lying. But now to see,
I mean, you be
then
lying.
you sitting here, this man got a whole paternity test, and you still lying to us.
I was like, who says that? Is it I mean, is it his college? Well, it could be, possibly. Who says that? How about
Hey,
no? Or
any
yes?
smart person is gonna go run and say, okay, well, let me do a DNA test. Why would I wait a whole year to do No, you saying this on live TV. I'm gonna go do a test. Smart man. Where's the incompetence, Mia? None.
Right. And what did he say? I didn't need her
Her
permission.
permission. And you knew it. He sat on it for 2 weeks before he told you.
Mm.
Come on, girl. You played yourself. You need to be on Zeus Network, not Bravo.
Ah! Oh Jesus! Oh
She
my
do.
goodness!
She do it. Because I heard that's where the people be over there fighting and doing stuff at. That's where she need to be at. She need to be over there, not on Bravo.
Look,
She terrible.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then her
Okay. So
friend,
the
her
other couple,
side
what's her
piece.
name?
Her,
Look,
which one?
I can't remember. JK. What's her name?
Kiana.
Kiana?
Kiana K.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What? Okay. What
She
did
don't
y'all
need
think of
him.
that whole conversation about him not wanting to have hyphenated names?
See,
It's
let me tell you,
2025.
that man gives subtle, and I don't know if they were so subtle. He has this much screen time, but his position on roles really were a little bit disruptive for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I don't like the energy of it. She downplays it and makes it very light. She makes very light of it. I don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
light.
I don't either.
Mm.
And they're in the process of buying a house. Like, you setting yourself up for something that looks like on the outside. I mean, things can change, but on the outside looking in, it looks like it's doomed. I would not be buying a house with this man. You're not marrying him. And then if y'all break up, then you're gonna be in a whole nother situation. And y'all gonna
Mhm.
have to say we gotta sell this house and divide it, or somebody gotta outbuy somebody.
Yep.
It's a mess. I wouldn't put myself in that. He seems to be controlling. I understand his concern about her not wanting to be around a lady sometime because of the fight that happened.
Hmm.
So I get he's
Mhm.
probably scared she might get into another one.
I agree.
But this whole thing about hyphenating her name,
Mhm.
I'm like, boy, if you don't sit down
She's
somewhere, this
still
woman got a
taking your
brand.
name.
Thank you
Like, she's
very
still
much. I'm
taking your
lucky
name, but she
about
got a
that.
whole brand. You know what I mean? What she gonna do? Come back and put it on the wall, hyphen, whatever your name. Come on, man. You have to,
So,
if she's gonna take your name over here, let her keep her brand over in this area.
Because what we're
mm,
not doing is changing the brands.
Right. You're not
no,
changing the brand.
absolutely not.
No celebrity, no known
Absolutely not.
person, no brand has
No,
ever shifted.
No.
If they know
no.
what's good for them, they don't do it. It's not good
And
enough.
then
Mm-mm.
the way he be talking to her, did that flashback to when she was sitting in that office. And I was just thinking to myself, you better pay attention to these little subtle jokes that he's saying.
Hmm.
With
Because
the
there's some
friend.
truth yeah, it's some truth behind that.
Mhm. Mhm. You know, I started thinking about all the fact that my man, social worker, clinical social worker. He's a clinical social worker. I said, oh, okay. So I wonder how much of that had to do with him and not her,
Right.
and
Yeah.
how much space he's taking up in her head and in her life.
Hmm.
Because I didn't know what she did, but I knew what he did.
Hmm.
And remember, she stopped her business to help him.
Yes. I was hearing more about her storyline was more about him than it was about her. Her only storyline was that she got hit by the cookie monster and she was suing her. That was
Right.
it. Everything else was him.
It really was.
Yeah, sure
So
was.
I was like, oh, so is this what's been going on this whole time?
He,
Okay. And then
she
last week
probably,
you tried to convince us that their relationship was making sense, that they've been together 3 years or 4 years or whatever, and now they get in the house and they
yes.
still ain't got married. And she somehow was trying to talk us into believing that all of this made sense.
Yeah, doing some type of math. I'm like, girl, stop.
Yeah, I was like, the math ain't nothing. So did he sell her on this and she bought into it and then she tried to explain it, but then she couldn't?
I guess, but he's definitely wanting her to be in more of a domestic role. Like, I when I come home, I want dinner ready. That's what he's wanting from her. And I don't think she's picked up on it. Like, he really don't want you to have your own. He wants you to be at the house, waiting on him hand and foot, and doing all of that. But that's not who she was when you met her, sir. She had her own.
They always want to change things up a
They
little.
do.
I
You got
mean,
me, child. I
I've
got
never heard. I've heard, obviously, yes, I want you to take my name, but not even to hyphenate.
I would
Like,
like.
come on,
mm-hmm,
bruh. Come on.
mm-hmm.
What? It's 2025.
Right. The woman got a whole brand. You have to
A
understand how
whole
that
brand.
works.
She is
Yeah.
on TV. She is making her own money.
And I
Right.
always ask, what what is it to you? What does it mean to you for me to keep my name? Because I'm gonna tell you, the way that a man answers that question, is going to say everything that you need to know. Why does it
Mm-hmm.
offend you that I keep part of my identity
Yeah.
that
Right.
I've had all of these years that also connect my lineage and marry it with yours? We can bring them together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, why I gotta take your name? Why you can't be my and then in the Spanish people, they all get the name.
It's matrilineal. Yeah.
So
Yep.
like it's wild.
Yep. That was wild to me.
Yep.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. This oh again, I
If
want to
they
see you
not
at the reunion.
It's a
We
little
need to
scary.
right,
It's a little
we need to talk
right,
scary.
about this at the reunion.
right. Because I'm curious
Mm.
to know if they
Mm-mm-mm.
even moved in together by now.
Yeah.
Because
That
that
is
house was being built. I mean, I know she moved into his house and
right and
got rid of
building a house.
hers,
That's just too
and they're
much.
building a house together. So I'm wondering if they ended up moving
I mean, are they
into
trying to
that.
have kids? Like, what is going on?
Right.
Because I don't know how old she. How old is she? Because he looks like he's in his 40s.
I think she said he is in his 40s. I think she said she's 37 or 38 or something like that last week, and he's in his
So
40s.
if they trying to have kids, they need to go ahead on and get
And
started.
then he used to be married before too. And
Mm,
she probably, I don't know if she asked the right
okay,
questions, but she
okay,
probably should have asked,
it says a lot.
some better questions because this behavior of him, that's not new.
That says a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, he used
that
to be
says a lot.
married before.
Yeah, I just took a I'm getting my CEUs for social work, so I've been taking all these courses, and one of them was on couples, and the woman said she's a divorce, she's a mediator, she's all of that, so she does like kind of all of it. She said, so we know marriages is about a 50-50 chance, right, ending divorce.
Mm-hmm.
By the second marriage, that increases to about 65%. By
Mm.
Mm,
the third marriage, that increases to about 75%.
mm,
So if you can't make that first marriage work, and there's no intervention, meaning you're not getting any type of therapy, couples counseling, healing work, something, personal development, something. If you're not doing any of that, if you get remarried, more than likely that marriage is going to end in divorce.
Mm.
right.
So I understand men when it comes to the second and the third start getting gun shy because they don't want to be twice divorced or three
Yeah.
times divorced,
And it
Mm-hmm.
four
could be more
times divorced.
treacherous each time with each woman, with each move.
That's yes,
Yep. They sure
yes,
do. They
And
sure
divorce
do.
on men and women can be it can be very traumatic. And I find honestly more now than ever the women to be more treacherous than the men.
mm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a
I've seen it.
I was
I've
getting
seen
ready to
it.
say, I was getting I have friend I one of my girlfriends, I, I was like, sis, like you really doing too much. You really doing too much, and this is not rooted in anything that has to do with this kid. These children, you are so angry with this man
Mhm.
that
Mm-hmm.
you are making him pay, and you are using these children.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep,
that's very traumatic for the men. Two
yep,
friends of mine that I know that the women are have kept the children away, have done so many things, and the men are just the level of brokenness that I see. I don't like the word broken,
Mm-hmm.
but it does break things
Yeah.
that require repair within, some of these men that they get to a place where they give up. And then it's perceived that them anyway, we ain't getting off on a tangent, but anywho, yes.
no, but it's real. I mean, I've seen it working with couples. Working with couples is some of the hardest work.
Mm,
It's
I believe that.
it's Lord, I will take individuals any day. But working with couples, and I've seen it. I've absolutely seen it, and I've had men that, real vulnerable, raw, heart to heart discussions.
Yeah.
And some of these men, especially men, and this is the thing, especially men who have made a lot of money, who are doing well, they were taken to the cleaners with the first wife because naive, in
Yeah.
love,
Yes.
all the things, did everything they thought right. So when that second one come,
They
nope,
ain't nothing to play with.
nope, they ain't doing it.
Like, oh, this your second marriage. How that last divorce go?
Right.
Yep,
Because
they
no,
won't do
thank
it.
you. I'm not at this wonderful age that I'm at. I am not willing nor interested in managing the
Mhm.
fallouts from that if
And
you
then
have not
when
done your work.
right, and
If
then when
they
you got
haven't done their work,
kids, when
yes,
you got kids, the kids the one who suffer from it because you are allowing your anger towards this person to interfere with their relationship with that parent. I don't like that. When I tell
yeah.
you that makes me so mad,
I mean,
I
that's
can't.
why the thing with Mia is so bad. It would be one thing. Listen, if
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have kids, you know what? Live your life. I don't.
Live your life.
However you want to live your life is however you want to live your life. I will support it as long as you ain't hurt nobody. But when the kids are caught in the middle like this, and it's
Yeah.
playing out on TV on both sides,
Right.
and you
That's
gotta
not a
have
good
your
look.
own father. Think about this. Your own father has to take a paternity test because
Mm-hmm.
he don't know if you really his.
And that child will one day see this if they have not already, because they're
Woo!
old. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You don't put your kids like they say kids are off limits. Some people show their children on these shows,
Yeah.
but not it don't always go to the extent of what Mia is doing.
Mm.
Mia
Mm-mm.
goes in the gutter
Mm-mm.
with stuff.
Mm-mm.
She's gutter. She's very gutter. She gives me a gutter snake. Call her gutter snake. But yeah,
Well,
you
see, I
don't
think I think Kiala set that up. You gutter
Gutter
snipe.
snipe.
gutter snipe.
Say,
That's what it
oh,
is. Yeah, gutter snipe. That's
gutter
what it is. Yeah.
snipe.
He did.
She she is I just feel I be feeling bad for the kids because they are going to see this. It's
Yeah,
not going nowhere.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If
And
they don't see
then
it, they
that
gonna hear about
son,
it.
they're gonna hear about it. And that son is probably gonna maybe, hopefully he doesn't, but he might grow get some anger, have anger towards you because
Yeah,
of this. Like, mama, why
yeah,
would you do this?
yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
And then you on TV, you got us around this man, and then you still with daddy. Like, this is then you trying to make it seem like we the Brady Bunch. We one big
Oh,
happy
that was the
family.
oh yes. Thank you for saying that. Yes, all the pictures of happily ever after on vacation and everybody's getting along.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes. Like
mm.
that is she in her mind, it looks good. Oh, I got the daddy, the husband, and I got my side boo. But you really don't look good. You really look stupid.
Every time.
I can't wait to
And
the reunion. I hope Neek,
I
I
can't
hope
either.
Neek and Gordon are there.
They both need to be. They both need to eat
Yes,
her up.
I need to see them both.
I hope it comes.
Now,
I
speaking
do
of
too.
children, I actually like the scene with Giselle and her kids, and so
Hmm.
I didn't know a lot about Giselle, right? And I don't watch the show,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't know like her background and all the things that she had done. So I like
I
that
did
bonding
too.
moment.
I
Yeah,
did
I
too.
really
I didn't know
appreciated
about
that.
her
I was
either.
like, can I see more of that?
Yes.
Hmm.
Definitely humanized her differently because they definitely do a spin on her. They definitely do a spin on her in a way that keeps her. She's very snarky with her mouth,
Mhm.
right? They give that very cynical, sarcastic. They got her lock stock with that, but that time with the girls and her talking about her life before and working for those companies
Yeah.
definitely expanded for me. Yeah, and also her and the other one who ain't on here no more, Robin,
Mm-hmm.
aren't together either. They were treacherous.
Yeah, they
So
was.
they humanized her this season.
You
They do.
saying a totally different Giselle. She had to show up because she's
Mm.
also one of the producers, so she had to show up. She had to
Oh,
show up.
okay.
Yeah, 'cause last season she didn't look good last season at all.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
that's good to know. Yeah, I really appreciated that. I was like, this is what I would tune into each week. I know that's probably boring for a lot of people, but you just love seeing black women winning
All the
Yeah,
time. All the
all
and
the
time.
time.
and teaching them about generational wealth and all these things. I was like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that
Yeah,
was good. Producers, we want more of that.
Right.
yeah.
Let's
And
have
she's
more of that.
always like that with her girls. When she's around her
Yeah.
girls, you see a totally different Giselle every single
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell. They were so cute. They were I mean typical teenagers. Like, no, they don't want their mama show. No, that's not cute.
Hmm.
We don't need you there.
Hmm. And when they were at the beginning of the show, when her daughter Grace was giving advice to the
I love
twins,
that.
I
They were
was so
so
tickled. I was so tickled at that advice. And they are so cute. So I don't,
Yeah.
from Mia to say what she said about them, I'm like, yeah, girl, I can't wait for the reunion.
Yeah, that's not looking good at all. That's
Uh-uh.
it's not looking good at all.
Mm-mm.
Because you think they just as cute as they can be. Don't leave them
They
alone.
are.
Just leave
They
them
are.
alone. Don't go there. Who's it? Oh, Ashley. Okay. Y'all
Girl.
help me.
I didn't what so was the last 10 minutes I didn't get. Was that the show? Because Lord have mercy.
They didn't do the show. That's gonna be continued. So you
That's
didn't
to
miss
be
that.
Girl, that
continued.
stage
You ain't
I'm
made
missing
trying to
nothing.
no
understand why is she tapping into her masculine? What?
She don't have no storyline. Michael is gone. She ain't got nothing to talk about. She got a dude, Paul. Wendy. She was on Watch What Happens live a couple of days ago. She told me she paying that boy to be her boyfriend. And I don't know if that's true or not. But Ashley needs something to do, and I think she's just grasping for straws right now at this point. Let me
child.
now her tap into my masculinity,
It's
and
not
I'm like,
performing.
girl, don't
Performance
nobody
That
is
ain't
do
even on
something else.
trend. That's not on trend. Tap into your feminine. I was like, what is she talking about?
she finding these catchwords from these coaches and these people and don't even know.
She be scrolling too much on TikTok and Instagram, picking up on them
Look,
words, but she
the
need
the
to.
girls they didn't even know what to because they was like, I don't know what to wear that's masculine. Like, what the hell?
Right.
I'm supposed to wear.
I would
Nobody
like to
was
see
wearing anything
Ashley spend some.
masculine.
Nobody except for Giselle. She had a hat on with that
Oh,
tie
she had on the
thing.
tie. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it. But I would love to see Ashley trying to find herself,
She
like
Find
post
herself
divorce,
authentically.
authentically. Like, what do you want to do with your life other than
Yeah.
put on this and get on the stage? What do you want to do? So Michael already barely want to give you any money. So you got to find a way to make your own, even outside of this show.
and dancing and singing isn't it.
See,
Right.
the only thing that I saw is that she been dancing and singing in the theater and stuff since she was young, and she's still trying to do it. That's what I saw.
She been doing it since
Hmm.
she was Amina.
She said, "Let me reel it in.
For
Let me
me,
be
God is
quiet. Let
working on
me."
me, so I'm trying to package it. She's been dancing since she was young.
Hmm.
Hmm, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
she had. You know what though? And I would say
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a quick
Yeah.
side, detour a little bit. And this
Yeah.
is I could literally see Ashley. Oh Lord, Ashley, forgive me if you ever come across this, but I could literally see Ashley working a strip club. She just give me those vibes. Like strip
Absolutely.
club. She just give me strip club vibes.
Absolutely. Because she's very sex forward.
Hmm.
And I'm not even saying that as a bad thing. I see it because it's already present. She already said, I mean, I feel like didn't they mention the strip club? I feel like they mentioned it.
I don't know. I don't remember them mention. If she did do it, I wouldn't be
No, not
shocked.
that she did it, but
Oh, that she
she was saying that she could see herself. I don't remember, but it's
oh,
definitely been
okay.
hard for her brands as the
Yeah.
way that they have packaged her. Um, but yeah, I don't know that this is the lane, and she's definitely clearly grasping at the "what am I doing with myself" straws.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she need to figure. I would love for her to explore like who she is. It keeps mentioning, who
Me
are you
too.
authentically? Who is Ashley?
Yes.
You know,
Because
besides
looking
Yes.
just
at her
wearing
on
these
your
little bitty dresses, getting your boobs hanging out all the time and dancing, who are you? We know you a mom. Who are you? You know,
Outside
we
of
don't
that.
know you outside of Michael and shaking your butt on TV.
she
Facts. That's what I want to see. Cause it's not authentic at all. It's not cute. It's not relatable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
can
can't relate to her.
Right. And you would think that she would have a really good storyline post divorce, a
Yes.
mom or two trying to start over. That's a good storyline.
Yes, it
People can
is.
relate to that, but can
Yeah.
nobody ain't they not finna relate to this other stuff you doing?
I was so
So now
confused. Like, what's
I'm
going
starting
on
to
here?
really
the
believe
name
that
that
when
you selected for her male thing was
Oh
such
God.
it was a mess. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I'm really
That,
starting to believe that
that was
she
pretty bad.
needed Michael for this show. Because people were saying Michael needs to come back because that was the only thing she really could had to talk about, which is true. I'm
Well,
starting to
it
believe she
made
needed him.
her what's the word? Like you felt for her, you right? Because
Yeah,
you
victim.
saw what was going on, and now that she doesn't have that buffer, it's like oh well,
Lord have
we
mercy.
don't even know you or like you. We don't even know what.
We just felt sorry.
Yes.
Hmm.
Your man was
Hmm.
cheating. It endeared us to your story and made us love on you. And now you're trying to find yourself, and you're taking us on the roller coaster ride, and we don't like it.
No, we don't
Right. We
like
want to
it. We
get
don't want to
off.
be there.
We
Get
want
us
to get
off.
off and stay on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tapping out. Yeah, I agree. Like next season, they need to do that authentically.
Hmm.
Not all this showbiz.
Yeah,
Please
Hmm.
get her
don't have her singing.
Right.
We don't want to
more
see it.
dancing.
Or
Or dancing. Like, what are your hobbies, your interests, stuff like that. And if you are into like dancing, like, did you want to be a dance teacher at some point and have your own dance studio and teach
Didn't.
other people or something?
Mm-mm.
What make it make sense? Because
It
it
does.
don't.
It does not. It's not what is
mm-mm.
in the cards right now for her life. I would love to see them find her a coach or add her to your roster, Ava Laura. Like,
Oh, shoot.
Listen, I was thinking it. Which brings me
like
to the next.
maybe Karen can be like, you know what? You need to see Ava Laura.
If they ever show me. But
Listen.
anyway, did y'all hear that Karen is not coming back next season?
I heard that was a parody page.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
like, is this real or not real? Because I
Yeah.
saw
I heard it
it
was
and
a
I was
parody
like,
page. But if
maybe.
she didn't come back next
what do y'all think? I
season,
don't.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Me either.
Because one thing Karen has not done a lot of on this show, and that's take accountability. And
Hmm.
she dances around a lot of stuff
She does.
when it comes to her. But she's quick to, call somebody else out, or she'll hold it and wait for the right time to come in with it if she need to. She gonna
Mm,
have always have something in her back pocket. So, and that brings me to that conversation with Mia. I was listening to this content creator today, and they were saying, how can Karen call out Mia for lying when people feel like Karen lied? Because she was
mm,
saying, I'm going to be vindicated,
mm-hmm.
nothing, and all of that. And then
Ray
this
said
tape
it too.
comes
Did
out.
you see that when he had the
Yeah, he
conversation
sure
with Ray?
did.
He
Yes,
said the same thing.
He sure
sure
did.
did.
He sure did. And so people like, how can you point, yeah, everybody knows Mia is lying. And
Mm-hmm.
people like, okay, Karen, who are you?
Mm.
Mia has been a known liar. But now, Karen,
Mm.
people are looking at you the same way.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't come back next season, I absolutely would not be shocked at all. I would not be
But how
shocked.
do you think the show would be without her?
I think she brings a lot to the show. I just would like to see us learn more about her. You know what I mean? We see
Mm.
her and Ray. We know that they've had some issues and stuff in
Mm-hmm.
the past, but Karen, she keeps a lot too. She
Mm-hmm.
don't always tell stuff, or when stuff is brought up about her, she's quick, baby. She gonna deflect it and say something crazy to you and go off on you.
And,
So
you, and you're not gonna
But
ask no more.
yeah, but the expectation is for people to be open and forthcoming. You have to do the
Mm.
same thing. It was like that with Robin. Robin lost her job because she wasn't telling us. She was holding on to stuff,
she was.
And so that's even a conversation that came up too. Is it fair for Karen to return
And not
because she didn't take
Mhm.
accountability, all of the she was dancing around it all season and all of that. And but when Robin did, they was like, oh no, Robin gotta go.
they sure did.
Mm.
They sure did. They
So
did.
that's
What
been
did
out
Robin
there.
dance around?
Her husband.
Her husband,
The
yeah. This
issues
was
with Juan and his cheating. And
I
mhm.
thought
all of
I mean, that wasn't clear that they had issues. Well, I didn't know he was cheating, but I thought they had issues.
so they had issues.
Mhm.
In the very beginning when this show kind of, got going, they were together. After a long period, they were living together, but they weren't
Mhm.
together. And then they started rekindling their relationship,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and they renewed their vows
Okay.
to one another, and then more situations started coming up about him.
And so she
Mhm.
wasn't talking about the cheating?
She was not being forthcoming about what was going on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a
I'm
picture
surprised
out
they
there
were
with
able to
this
hide that.
girl.
Right.
Yeah, it was a picture that was floating around with this lady, and
That
but
he went to a
somebody
hotel.
that he went to a house and they was at the laundromat washing clothes and stuff together too. Apparently
Laundromat.
she used to work with him
Wait. Why were they at the
and
laundromat though?
washing team uniforms.
Oh,
Because he was a
okay.
coach at the time. This was
Okay.
right
I was
before
like,
he had
hold
lost
up.
his job. Yeah, he was a
You
coach.
live you in Potomac. How
There
we
was some very damning texts.
Yeah, and some text message. And I feel like
wow.
Robin saw that behavior growing up.
Oh, she
I
definitely
feel
made
Mm,
like that.
concessions for that mess in her
And
house.
yeah, yeah. And she is, my mom probably in her mind, my mom stuck with her by my dad, and this she's
mhm.
doing the same. I feel like this is something that she's seen.
That's how Ashley.
And
I mean, they show her mother though, so we know.
yeah, Ash, yep, sure did.
Yeah, I
So
think
but yeah.
Robin didn't want the egg on her face feeling again that she
Mhm.
kept
Mm,
having, um, because she it was not making sense. And Juan,
okay.
his reasoning was wild and nonsensical.
He always
Okay.
make her look crazy though. He
He
always
did.
make her look crazy, and
He's a gaslighter.
he never would address stuff.
Mm.
And then what really got people upset was that she went to Patreon and told the entire story. So of course you're going to Patreon, you're gonna have to pay your little $5 or whatever. And so they was like,
Oh.
you
You
didn't want
can't
to
do
talk
that.
about it on the show, but you go to Patreon.
And it's
And
actually a
so
breach of the contract because you're supposed to be, if
I would
you
have fired her too.
right.
mhm. Yeah, so she didn't want to do it on TV. So they ended up doing she ended up talking with Andy on Watch What Happens Live. It was just them two. He was asking her all the questions. And again, she was just still up there just looking stupid.
And Juan is very, the way he talks to Robin was crazy.
Mm,
Yes, he is very disrespectful.
I was like, yeah,
mm,
And that's another one. I'm just like, girl, that man don't like you. He is using you
he does.
because
mm.
he went broke. They friend somebody, they
I,
friend or somebody managed the money and they lost
I
it.
think
And
I
so, I
remember
know
that
Robert.
because she was trying to do real estate and all this stuff
Mm,
she was trying to do to make money too,
Yep.
right? Like it
Yep.
was, yeah,
Yep.
and so
And
now she
she
got her
actually, her little
business.
hat line actually picked up and started
Yeah.
doing well.
Sure did. It sure
mm,
did. And now she has her own shop, 360 Glow or something. And I'm like, girl, he gonna, yeah, they was showing him in there, and in the place trying to help out with the building up of the spot. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, of course, because he gonna get some coins out of this. He know, "Oh, my boo finna take care of me. She ain't going nowhere." Then he
That's
always kept her, he always had her looking crazy.
that's
And
everywhere.
she
sad.
always defended his foolishness. And I'm just like, girl, you need to let one just go on, just let him float on off into the ocean and figure
Floating,
it out himself. Right.
floating.
So
That's what
float
she
on
need
the
to do.
ocean.
What
So
she
is
need to
I
do.
mean, so I guess what is only is Wendy, their marriage is, did they have any problems in their marriage or they've been good?
They don't got no drama that's popped up.
They
Really,
ain't got
only
nothing that's
thing that was
popped up.
going on with them was the difference in their two families that happened in the
Hmm.
beginning, where their families didn't get along or they didn't speak, or Eddie's family was not speaking to him.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got married. They're both from two different tribes, and
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
tribes are not supposed to like, mingle with each other like that. Yeah.
Mhm. Interesting. That okay.
And
Well, they
one
had
thing I
marital
appreciate
problems.
about her is she keeps her business off of TV. Now, that's one thing I can say. I can kind of tell her marriage is not for sale.
That's why I asked because I was like, I don't. I mean, I saw that part about the family, but I haven't, seen any issues. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting because they talk about a lot of reality TV how once the housewives once they get on these shows that a lot of times then the marriages end, but it sounds like a lot of these marriages they were already having problems even
Mm-hmm.
before the show, and so the show just kind of escalated it, at least, well, because
Yeah.
it's out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Elevated even more. You're exactly right. But I think that her marriage is just not for sale. But I think the reason we got so much of Mia this season is because they had to continue from the reunion last season because
Right.
she dropped
Okay.
all of these bombs last season. So here we
Okay.
are, and then everybody's like, "Oh, Mia gonna carry the season." Everybody was excited, but the whole time you've been
Mm.
lying. The whole time you playing in the people faces, and you got your kids mixed up in this. You looking shady out here.
So she
Period.
Yeah, you
carrying a
are.
season, but not in the way we want to see.
Not in the way that we want to see. You need to go carry that over there to Love and Hip Hop.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, the reunion, because we already know Karen. I mean, I don't, we don't know about next season or not, but we know she's not gonna be at the reunion.
Hmm.
I know everybody has a lot of questions, so those are just not gonna
Yes.
get. They're not gonna get answered. Um, so it will be interesting, right? Because if she does come back next season, there's gonna be questions again.
It's gonna be a question, and she is going to be in the hot seat,
She's
rightfully
gonna be.
so, if she comes back next season.
Hope she ain't
She
Darby.
has to answer. My hope is this. This is what, and even if this happens, she's still gonna be in the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
My hope is that when she gets into it, get in a better position, that Andy invites her on to Watch What Happens Live
Mm,
and
okay.
has a conversation with her, like he did with Robin, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just them two. That's my hope, is that he talks to her and he's able to ask her some questions and get a better understanding of some things. And then also
Mm-hmm.
talk to her about, yeah, we know you can talk about the case,
Right.
but why were you avoiding taking any type of accountability or saying,
Period.
yes, I did this, I was wrong. However, I can't go into detail because this is an ongoing case. It's some things that you could have done to take accountability. We could have saw you volunteering somewhere. We could have
Mm-hmm.
saw you going to get help talking to somebody about this. We could have saw a number of things.
If they show me next week.
If they show you next week, then we'll see you.
And now I was wondering, I was like, dang, like what did they do with that whole segment? Because she need a lifeline. Can you put this in there for her so people at
She
least
need
know
one
she did something?
bad. She
I
need
was like,
one
my
bad
God,
because
throw
if
her a
people don't,
bone, please.
she need it because if they don't show you talking to her next week or before this season is out, it's just gonna look like she did not try to get any help at all.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And no one's gonna know that she tried unless they come and they watch this live and they get to this hour and 4 minutes that we've been on here. They gonna say, "Oh, okay, she did try to get some help. She talked to somebody."
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting to see how they put it all together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we were talking about, I don't know, where it's gonna be, how they gonna put, what they gonna do. I don't know what they gonna show,
Right.
because last time it was over a 2-hour session and it was like literally 2 minutes.
Right.
I hope they show it next Sunday. And the reason I hope they show it next Sunday is because she goes to court next week.
I
I ain't
thought it
saying
was
that
coming up. Yeah.
yeah, it's coming up. I think it's like the 27th or something like that, right? I ain't saying the
It's
judge watched this
yeah.
show, but at least somebody can say, well, she was on Potomac, judge, and she was getting some help. You know what I'm saying? I like Karen. I don't like what she did. That is
Right.
Yeah.
serious to me. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
I think that's what a
But
lot of people are struggling with. Like that people genuine like at least what I've been told, people genuinely like Karen and they want her
mhm.
to win, but they don't like what they've been seeing. And
Hmm.
they're waiting for her to do something because they're rooting for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing I want her to do too is just gonna come out and say you got you a little side boo and that you hunching. And so the
I,
people can so the folks
I
can
said,
stop
wait a
talking.
minute. I said, hold up. Did Gizelle just slip that in there like real subtle? Like we
Well, they've
already
been
already know
talking
Karen got
about
a little
it.
side boo. I was like,
They've been
wait, what?
talking about it on other seasons, but she always again she deflects, she dances around, and she'll flip it and she'll say, "Well, let's talk about you, Robin, and let's talk about Juan. He was saying with this blonde chick that looked like
Look,
me." You
I
know,
call
she'll
that
chat.
smart. Okay.
Yeah, she do it all the time, and
I call that smart.
I don't know, man, but I think that I really think that
Yeah.
one of the reasons she don't like Sharice being on this show is
She
because
knows too
Sharice
much.
know a lot of
She
her
knows a lot.
secrets,
She sure
Okay.
do.
Okay.
and she tries to do
Interesting.
everything she can to keep Sharice off this show. Sharice knows too much.
Mm, interesting.
So
Well,
I would, if she come back next season, and I would love for Sharice to come back as a
Baby.
friend of. Cause Sharice gonna drop it again. She been dropping them
Breadcrumbs.
little hints and them crumbs, and everybody been like, ah, Sharice, da da da. Now they believe Sharice now. A lot
Sharice
of
is
people
an
believe
OG to
her.
the show. She know the things.
She know the stuff. But I do
interesting.
feel like Karen, if you come back next season, you're gonna have to just go on, suck it up and just get it
All on
over
the
with.
sword, sis.
Just go on, do it. Get it over with. Cause you gonna eat it up on, they gonna get you online or on the show. They're gonna do both when next season if you come back. But just go
Girl,
ahead and get your time over with.
the internet, boy.
Everybody go through it
Woo!
because
It
they
almost
gonna
don't
get
matter.
you.
Listen, what happens on the show does not compare to what happens on the internet. The
That is
internet
true.
is vicious, okay? There
That
are
is
no
true.
boundaries. there, there are no okay, stop. No. Mm-mm.
But I want her to just go ahead and go through it and get it over with and make sure that every week you showing up for your appointment so you can process it. Cause baby, just get it done. Cause it's not fair for you to do it to somebody else now. It's your turn. Because if this was anybody else, Karen would have been eating them up this season. Especially if they said something crazy to her. She would have threw that in at them. So
Well,
no.
we gonna find out, aren't we? I mean, I hope that I was like, nah, come on, don't do that. You gotta come back. So we'll find out well, they already did the reunion, so they're not even gonna say they might. Let's see if they address it or not. if she's coming back or not. Knowing them, they probably won't because they're gonna want to keep us hanging.
Yeah, because I didn't see it on her page when I saw it posted,
Yeah, I was
but I
like,
saw
this
one of
don't
my
seem right.
friends had, yeah, one of my friends posted it and she had to take it back and she had to come and do a whole video and say, it was a parody thing
Okay.
page that had did it. And so I was told, I said, yeah, I didn't believe it because if we would see it on Karen's page, not over
Something,
here on
right.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So
That's why I didn't lead with it because I was like, I don't know about this. But yeah, the reunion is definitely going to be interesting. Hopefully, we get some of our questions answered.
mhm.
And hopefully, next week, we will see my episode. It is past time. Okay.
Yes.
Past time.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. And I hope that I would love to know if Stacy has watched this back and said, he really doesn't like me,
Or I don't really like
with the way
him.
that, well, I didn't really like what he said to me here. I hope she watches it back and just use that to make a decision. And I feel like she really needs to spend some time by herself and just
Right. I
date.
mean, I don't know how long she's been separated,
I
but
think a
didn't she say
year.
he just
Wasn't it a
moved out
year?
the house though?
Yeah. He was moving out
He
in two
just
days from
moved
that
out
date they
the
was
house
talking.
and you done went into this new relationship. Where was the separation in the healing process?
Hmm. And they were married for what, 15, 16 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Give yourself a break. Let
So
TJ go on to California and play with the ones he really, really want to play with. And you just take some time to get to know yourself.
How can I?
Cause TJ is living a lie.
Yeah, Jesus.
I forgot what the term is now. They done changed the term because they used to call it a beard, but they changed the term. I said, what is this?
Oh, that's
What it
right.
what they
Some
change it to now?
unicorn or
Oh, I don't
something?
know the new term.
Oh, is
It's
that
a
like the unicorn
yeah,
marriages where
yes,
the
the
woman married a
unicorn.
man knowing that she marries him and knowing that he, likes
Yes.
other men too? Yeah, he's
I was like,
bisexual or
listen, what was wrong with
something.
beard? Why we gotta go change the stuff? I said, what is this?
Yeah, I just learned about that because I kept hearing people talk about it on TikTok. I said, "What are y'all? What is that?" So
Right,
one of the
girl.
little
You
young
listen, I'll be
folks
quick
had
to
to
go to
tell
the
me.
Urban Dictionary. Like, what is going on here? Cause listen,
Y'all come up with a new something every few months. I can't keep up.
It's facts.
So
I
yeah,
got 4 in my house, so I'm learning them all. Okay.
yeah.
I am
I
bilingual.
I know that's right.
well,
All right, ladies. This was fun. Let's root for next week. Let's see. We're gonna have something to talk about.
We
crossing
gonna
our
see.
fingers for next week.
Yes, next week,
Crossing our
producers, come
fingers.
on.
Come on,
Yes.
producers, go on in there and have
All
it. Just
right,
say get it
people. Let
popping.
us know how you feel. Comment, like, subscribe, share. We will see y'all next week on Messy Mondays. Until then, peace.
Bye, y'all.